Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Tyria then. We're on episode 32 now, and I'm Aaron, and this is Miko. Welcome to the show.
Hello, thank you. Good to be here.
Got that out of the way nice and early. Um, we're heading off of Istan this episode.
I can't believe it.
We're kissing it goodbye.
Yep.
It's been a long time coming. I think we started Nightfall on 27, and we're now on 32. So that's 6 full episodes of Istan content. I think that's double the Xingje content. I think we did 3 Xingje episodes.
Did we? Yeah, that's probably right.
Something like that. And one of them was like a half and half, right? This is like
Right.
this is like 6 full episodes of Istan. Istan is packed with content.
Yeah. There's lots of good side quests that come available as you level up or complete different missions. So
Lots of good side quests, lots of mid side quests, and even a few kind of bad side quests.
yeah.
But yet again, and we've commented on this several times, so I don't want to beat a dead horse, but just the level of detail in the dialogue in Nightfall is transcendent in comparison to the other 2 games, in my opinion.
Transcendent.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't even know if that's the right application of that word.
It works.
It was the most splendid word I could think of.
Once again, we've hit the English lesson.
Yeah, I continue to
Yeah.
grow my vocabulary with every
There you
episode
go.
of this show that we release.
That's what happens.
Miko, we're filling up with heroes really fast,
We sure are.
and
It's great.
yeah, it is great, especially for somebody like you who has all the skills and stuff already, because you can
Right.
just throw those sweet builds on, and your party's amazing.
Yes. Yeah.
So I've been noticing in the last few episodes that my account does not have cool skills, or anything. So I did some prep work for this episode.
Aaron has been very nervous about continuing on in Nightfall with heroes that have,
Bad builds.
I wouldn't even say mediocre or bad, just kind of like half builds that don't have like full
henchman
like,
builds.
Yes.
Yeah, I would like my heroes to be better than the henchmen.
Right. As we all would, right?
Yes, we all would. So I'll tell you a little bit about some of the back end work I've been doing on my account to kind of build my heroes up a little bit. But first, why don't you recap the Nightfall story for us? What's been happening on Istan that we've been dealing with so far?
So we have discovered that there is some sort of plot happening. We don't know what, but there's something
you can cut and print the summary right there. Honestly,
right, yeah.
That's incredible.
This is like the summary for the early game of all of the.
There's been some sort of plot happening. We don't know what.
We don't know what. Yes, and so in Nightfall there is something called Nightfall, and last episode
You're on a roll.
I know. Last episode we found out what that Nightfall thing is. It is some kind of bad thing that is going to happen or befall the world because of Abaddon.
It seems to be linked to Abaddon in some way, right? Because with her dying breath, General Kayet of the Cornins kind of cursed us to have Abaddon feast upon our eyes.
That's right. She did. And this is after following Talcora around because she was convinced that she overheard Varish and Kayet plotting to weaken Istan. And what was our dude's name? The jerk? Jekin?
Jarek.
Jarek.
Jerk off.
Jarek.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yes. So a stand-in for Kormir because Kormir were not with the Canthons for a while. And
she kind of just ran off. Yeah.
She did. And so Jarek, who is acting Spear Marshal, he basically made us babysitters of Talcora. And what we discover is, no, actually, there is some sort of plot. Talcora wasn't wrong. And went in and infiltrated the Corsairs. Well, yes, we did. We infiltrated Corsairs because they are in league with the Cornins. Actually, what they are is being bankrolled by the Cornins to weaken Istan.
Yeah, because they
And
only attack Istan. Like that's a
that's it.
uniquely Istan problem.
Right. And so, what do? We killed Kayet, and apparently now we've caused a diplomatic crisis.
We have, yeah, it's like a DEFCON 4 type of
And that's
situation.
that's pretty much where we left things off in last episode.
Yeah, bang on the money. And
Mm-hmm.
I thought we killed a guy named Iron Fist last episode, but apparently we didn't.
No, we
Um,
struck a deal with him. Yeah.
yeah, well, because we struck a deal with Savage Noonbay, but Iron Fist was the guy whose clothes we stole in the
Right.
that I
So
went on.
apparently we did. Yeah, we
That I,
must have just knocked him out.
well, actually, he talks about it later, and it turns out he wasn't there at all. But I'll
Right.
tell you about that in a little bit.
Right. Okay.
But we did advance the plot this episode, guys. Don't worry. We didn't go off on another side quest tangent.
Yes.
The main plot was followed, and we have left the island. So we're going to be getting
Yeah.
to that very soon.
Mhm.
I have a few updates.
Okay.
Over the weekend, I logged into my account, and instead
Yes.
of playing the story content for the show like a good schoolboy, I logged onto my other characters and I went on a rampage of elite skill capturing to unlock them on my account for my heroes.
Very good. I think that is a job well done.
Yes, it went very well. I went on the good old PVX wiki and I went to the hero build section.
Okay.
And I picked out what I wanted, like
Uh-huh.
I was at Build a Bear Workshop, right? And
Okay.
I picked myself up Unyielding Aura for Dunkoro.
Nice.
I picked myself up a skill called Restore Condition for Takora because I got her on that protection thing.
Okay. Okay.
This skill's very cool. It cures every condition on you and it heals you a little bit for each condition, and it has a 2-second recharge.
Oh, that's nice.
It's very good against conditions. It is unfortunately almost useless when there are no conditions being applied to your party.
Right. Right.
But that's what the other 7 skills on the bar are for, right?
This is true.
Yeah, I've got both Takora and Dunkoro rocking a couple Mesmer interrupt skills that give them energy when they interrupt people.
Nice. Yes. Excellent.
Because PVX Wiki told me that was good, so I agreed.
Okay.
We
Yeah.
don't have any Elementalist heroes yet, but I grabbed Thunderclap for when that happens.
Okay.
That is just a big old damage skill, and I think it used to apply exhaustion, but since the Elementalist overhaul a few years ago, it no longer does, so it's good now.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yep. And slapped Barrage on Acolyte Jin.
Nice. You already had that one, didn't you?
I didn't. I was going to capture it from Marcus, remember, and then I forgot to.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Marquis.
Yes.
Yes.
So I didn't capture it from him this time. It actually turned out to be easier to capture in factions. And so I went to Boreas Seabed mission and just did that.
For a second, I was gonna say, did you go to Buck Deck Byway?
We went to Buck Deck Byway this episode.
We did. We did.
Strangely enough.
Yeah.
Bizarrely enough. I also nabbed 100 Blades for my boy Koss. So he's
excellent.
he's slicing and dicing. And then Milani, obviously I don't have access to Dervish Elites yet, so that's not happening.
Oh, that's too bad.
And then I knew that
There's some good ones coming up.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. I've already got it. It's like I haven't worked on my actual characters build this episode at all, but next episode it's on.
Sweet.
And I knew we were getting a couple new heroes this episode, so I went and grabbed. What did I grab for Necro? I grabbed Aura of the Lich.
Aura of the Lich, yeah.
Yes, because I simp hard for minions, so
Yeah.
had to go that route. I think you captured at the end of this when we ended up on the Elonian mainland. You captured yourself an elite skill, right?
I did.
What skill are you using on your bar now?
It a cruel spear.
What does it do?
It does spear damage.
Gotcha. It's just like a sweet big
Yeah.
spear, like a big plus damage. There's a big number in there.
There's a big number in there. Yeah. If this attack hits, you deal up to 31 damage. If it hits a non-moving target, you inflict deep wound.
Okay,
I figured that's a good
deep wound
thing.
is tight, so
Yeah, so I was like, all right, that'll work, because my idea for heroic refrain, well, that's gone by the wayside. I had to ditch that idea.
will you be getting
So,
heroic refrain when it comes up in the game later?
hey, maybe we'll see.
Gotcha.
We'll see. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. It would be nice to just to have it unlocked on my account, because you know what I did, part of prep work, because I was like, I need an elite, so I went and converted a bunch of Zaishen coins, and I got myself a Paragon Elite Paragon Tome. Elite Paragon Tome.
Oh.
And I have all of one Paragon Elite skill unlocked on my account before Cruel Spear, and I was like, and it's like a motivation.
Not playing motivation, I take it.
No, I'm not playing motivation. I'm like, screw that. Heroes, take care of yourselves.
Are we leadership and spears?
Yes. That's what I'm doing. I'm kind of going offensive.
You kind of don't have a choice but to go spears, right?
Yeah.
Like, imagine being a dervish and not going scythes.
Scythes, yeah.
That being said, if you do look at the at the general player builds on PVX Wiki, there's a dagger spam build for like every class.
Yeah, there's a dagger spam build for
Paragon.
For Paragon, yeah, and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm good. Although it sounds interesting.
The meta of the game has morphed so much that I actually had to go away from the great builds and go to the good builds. To find builds that I understand.
Okay. Yeah.
The great ones were just like very weird stuff. I'm sure they're excellent in the hands of like a smart person, but I needed to play the 2009 way.
The one that you understood.
Yeah, I want some monks in my group, and I want like an elementalist that shoots fire and a ranger that shoots arrows.
Yes.
I like my fantasy archetypes. Thank you very much.
Right.
So yeah, after setting up all those builds on my heroes, I realized their equipment sucks.
Yeah.
And I don't really have a good place to get like max damage weapons for everyone, so I'm kind of piecemealing that together right now. And then I looked at rune prices and decided that could wait.
I thought you spent a bajillion dollars on coins on.
I spent money on runes and on like attribute runes for everyone. I got everyone some attribute runes.
Okay.
And then I got radiant and attunement stuff for my monks because them having energy matters the most. And then I stopped buying things for my heroes.
Okay. Fair.
I got it while I was doing I did Abaddon's Mouth like 6 times. Just for capping skills. And I got a major vigor rune drop in Abaddon's Mouth. Yep.
Didn't you get a major and a minor?
I got a major and a minor. Yeah, because I messaged you about it because it was ridiculous.
Yeah. We did have some kind of lucky. We had some good RNG luck on our side this time.
Yeah, because what happened when you capped your elite skill?
So I went out and killed Isha long spear for my elite skill, and he dropped Isha's spear for me, which is a unique.
What's that? So that's a sweet drop. What are the pros and cons of this weapon?
It's got an energy degeneration, -5. And then it has like a -1 regen on energy.
Double energy penalty.
Yeah.
It does have a zealous, right? A +1 energy on hit.
No, it's got an energy regen -1, energy -5, energy gain. Oh yeah, energy gain on hit +1. There you go.
If it was, can you imagine? Just like you just don't get to have energy with this weapon. Enjoy this.
Yeah, I know. So I went and started looking for energy runes in my bank that I might slap on my person.
Because it's like a requirement 9 max damage spear, so you could put some work in with that.
Yeah, Yeah. So it's good. And then you had commented when I messaged you that it's not a very good looking skin. And I thought it was actually a pretty fitting skin because Esau Longspear is he's a termite.
Oh, okay. So that's why it looks
Yeah.
buggy. I'll have to put a
Yes,
picture
it
of it
is.
up.
It looks yeah. Yeah, Esau Longspear is he's in the wiki. I'm gonna link you this right now. In the wiki, he looks a bit mean, and he's sticking his tongue out at you.
Eshaw, is that? Oh yeah, wow. That's a great screenshot. Whoever took that is masterful.
Yes,
That's a
it's great.
fantastic screenshot.
Yes, it will be
Amazing.
shown on screen.
Yes, I will put that up. That's amazing. Um,
Yeah.
very impressive wiki work there by whoever made that.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah,
Well
we're
done.
we're kind of rocking out here. Our
Yeah.
parties are coming together. I'm utterly broke from
Right.
gearing out. So I didn't fiddle with my build at all, but I did gear myself out.
Mm-hmm.
Because we got to an outpost that had maximum armor to buy,
Uh-huh.
and we did that.
We did do that.
That set me back quite a bit. And then
Yeah.
I was also going through the PVX wiki, and I found a build for myself, which is that Vow of Strength thing that I was telling you about a few episodes
Yes.
ago.
It's a good one.
Yeah, it's an Earth Prayers reliant build,
Mm-hmm.
and then it also calls for Mysticism and Scythe Mastery.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to buy all those runes.
Oh,
Yeah, it got out of control real fast. Let's just put it that
okay.
way. So yeah, I'm pretty broke now. I've got like 2 platinum to my name on across my whole account.
Okay.
Yep.
Yep.
Not doing
And
good on the money front.
no, I mean, you had made quite a bit, in factions, so I guess,
Well,
it was
I got that insignia.
insignia, or yeah,
Yeah, I
wasn't
got
it?
that insignia drop that was worth like 11k gold last episode, and all of it is gone.
Yeah.
So that's going to be what I spend my money on for the foreseeable future is gearing out my
Mhm.
heroes.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Besides the quests we did to attain some new heroes, did you do any other side quests this episode?
I went and ran the Corsair killing one. Lone Raider, Corsair Invasion, and Corsair Vengeance. It's basically 3 quests where you go out and murderify some Corsairs. It
Yeah.
wasn't very interesting.
Yeah, I did those ones last episode. They were mid. Were you able to catch the sneaky Corsair before he got to his ship?
Yeah. Yes. Well, no, I mean, yes and no at the same time because I did catch up to him, and then he kept running away, and then I finally killed him when he was amongst friends, but I still killed him,
That's
and then
more.
I killed his friends as well.
Yeah, you couldn't spare one for the friends.
No.
That's more or less what happened to me with that quest as well. Yeah, I also did a Corsair killing quest. It's the only side quest available after Black Tide Den if you've done everything else. As far as I could see, I checked all the other outposts. This quest is called "What Do You Do with a Drunken Shaban," which is of course a reference to the popular sea shanty, except it's drunken sailor, right?
Right. Right.
The storyline of this quest. This is from some guy in Black Tide Den. I don't remember his name. It starts with a D.
Right.
He was the last. I remember seeing him last episode and being like, "Well, he has a name, but he doesn't have a mark. I guess later." And sure enough, later.
And sure enough, yeah.
Lo and behold, later has arrived. Basically, there's a clan called the Shaban clan, with Shauben. Shaban.
Okay.
Sounds like a last name in like today's society. But apparently a bunch of them got drunk while they were celebrating a wedding, and they were like, "Hey, we're gonna go kill every Corsair in Latenda Bog." They were immediately captured. And guess who's it? So I'm it.
Yeah. Right. I was gonna say that's probably you.
Yeah, and you got to kill about 400 Corsairs in this quest.
Okay.
This is a master difficulty quest, and you have to go to the furthest possible end of Latenda Bog from the portal, and just hack your way. The Corsairs are like level 16, 17. I think you're supposed to be like level 15 when you get done with Black Tide Den, so I think we're a little over leveled because I was level 19 when I was doing this, and it was very easy.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Time consuming, just by sheer mob density, but easy. The kick in the teeth comes when you get to them, and then the quest log updates to escort them back to the portal to Black Tide Den. And since it's a master quest, the game spawns new Corsair mobs in behind you that you now have to fight again.
Oh no.
Not difficult, time consuming.
Just annoying. Yeah.
Yeah, I have like a 45-minute video of me doing this quest.
Oh man.
Yeah, so I did that. Not incredibly interesting. Kind of boils down to I killed just fistfuls of Corsairs. And could not find any other side quests to do. So it's main plot from here on out.
There we go. With a little jaunt to pick up a couple more.
Yeah, heroes. I had to, yes, because those aren't technically primary quests to get the heroes, but like we're getting the heroes, you know. That's
right. We consider them primary quests.
Yeah, no, I'm getting
even if the game does not.
I'm getting my hands on every hero I can. All right, I need to I like Acolyte Jin and I like Milani. I don't really like Milani, honestly, but I don't really want a Dervish or a Ranger in my party, so I'm jonesing to replace them.
Right.
We got to talk to Castellan Puba.
A lot.
I actually went to Kamadan first because I didn't take the quest last episode. So I went to Kamadan and went up to First Spear Devad and was very offended when he did not have an exclamation mark for me.
Yeah.
So we're officially above Devad. We report directly to the Castellan now.
Now, did you say you're rank commander now?
Yeah, I'm rank 6.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, cool. There was a level 17 rank 5 like gated quest in this. Did you have any trouble hitting the level gate?
No.
Gotcha. And I'm level 20 now. What are you at the end of this play session?
Like 19 and a half.
Gotcha.
It's very close.
Very close. Nice. I actually leveled to 20 in Lion's Arch of all places.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we'll talk about why we found ourselves there in a little bit. But what direction does Puba have for us now that we've murdered a Kornin general on Istani soil?
So Jarek is basically annoyed that we've gone and killed a Kornin general. And we have to basically get witnesses to speak up on our behalf because there's going to be a trial. And so the first quest is called Iron Truth. And we have to go talk to Iron Fist, the one that we thought we had killed back in Black Tide Den.
Yeah, we talked to Puba and he makes us go tell Jarek ourselves the news. Yeah. And Jarek chews us out. And it's funny, his first reaction is, of course, to blame Kormir.
Yes.
Who isn't here, who literally isn't here.
No, but it's her fault because we're her lackeys, apparently.
Apparently, yeah.
Yeah.
We are kind of poor babysitters because he stuck us with Takora, and what did we do? We did exactly what she wanted to do.
Right.
But we were interested, like, what can I say?
Yes.
So yeah, we tell that to Jarek, and he needs us to go. Well, I think he sends us to Elder Sul first.
No, he sends Elder Souls, who we end up going before trial for, right? So
no, you're right. Yeah, we need to speak to Elder Sul, but before we do that, he's like, "Dude, you need some evidence."
Yeah, so he sends us off to speak to Savage Nunbei.
Yep.
I thought we were done with Savage Nunbei, but nope.
We were not done with Savage Nunbei. Even Mind Bay's name comes up again. I don't think his physical self does.
No.
But he doesn't need to because he's the Mind Bay.
That's right.
I've been waiting the whole episode to do that one.
To say that, right?
Yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Good. Top quality meme.
Yeah.
I have in my notes, Nunbei is a sniveling coward and immediately rats out his friends.
He pretty much does. But that's kind of like, I mean, even Mindbay kind of was like, I mean, don't kill me, just go and get the keys from Nunbei. And we were like, all right, cool.
Yeah, no, these two are they're very self-centered, but they're corsairs. Which I don't know what I was
They're
expecting.
they are very much about self-preservation. They're self-preservation pirates.
Yes, which I think is if three Pirates of the Caribbean movies have taught me anything, that's
It's
exactly on brand.
that's right. That's right. Yes.
So Nunbei says that he can't testify because he's already in too much trouble. I don't know how that makes sense, but
Right.
because what the guy who does testify does is request amnesty in exchange for testimony, which is like
Yeah.
testifying
Yeah.
testifying bargaining 101, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because Mindbay is apparently supposed to be meeting Iron Fist out at Matani Keys
Yeah,
to
and
discuss the future.
yeah, and Iron Fist was the guy we thought we'd killed this guy in
Right.
the good old bog, Latenda bog. And
Mm-hmm.
but apparently he's not dead, and he's meeting Mindbay in the Matani Keys. And
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I'm fucking kill this guy for real this time, right? Like, what did I bop him on the head with my scythe? I don't know.
Yeah,
So
I don't know. Yeah.
there's
But
a small line of dialogue about it. I don't remember which quest it's in, but I did write it down. So when we get to it, I'm gonna see it. I'm gonna point it out.
okay.
How was finding these guys in Matani Keys? How did that go?
They were, I think, in the same spot where the Corsairs like to hang out or congregate from the Lone Raider quests. So I was
Yeah.
kind of like, oh, I'm back here again.
Yep, that little dock
Um,
area.
mm-hmm. Yeah. And Mindbay, did you see Mindbay? Because I did not.
No, he doesn't show up.
Right, okay, that's what I thought.
It's just Iron Fist and
It's
like
just
a
Iron
group.
Fist. Mm-hmm. Of just generic Corsairs.
Yeah, and we kill all of his friends. And
Yep.
then when we kill him, he goes green. So,
Mm-hmm.
and he requests immunity in exchange for his testimony.
Yes.
And you want to know something funny? I noted we don't necessarily say yes to this request. He just asks for this.
Right.
I didn't see any line of dialogue from us, the player character, that was like,
No.
"Yes, I promise," or anything
Right.
like that.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, no, he just assumes. And he's like, I guess he just took our silence as capitulation or agreement or whatever you want to call it.
it's kind of a sign of the lack of robust dialogue options they have for the player character in like the dialogue
Mhm.
window. You can never say more than like a measly sentence at a time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't see us agree to this, and that's going to come in later because I don't think I ever see anyone else agree to it either.
Right.
And
But Iron Fist thinks we have a deal. So
Iron Fist
there
thinks
we
we have a
go.
deal. Yeah, so we take that info back to Jarek.
Yeah. And he thinks that this will at least keep us from embarrassing Elder Soul.
Yeah, maybe
Because
at least minimize the embarrassment.
Right.
And then who's Korna sending to represent their country at the tribunal that we're going to have?
Oh, our friend Morgan.
Yes, Morgan with an H is going to be on site representing Korna, more specifically representing Varish herself.
Varish. Yes.
And relations with Korna are, needless to say, extremely tense, and Kormir is still nowhere to be found.
Nope. Nowhere to be found.
And we have to take that quest back to Puba, and then we got to go right back to Jarek. I think.
Yeah, we have to go. We have to go in. Actually, once we see Coop, don't we get just teleported into the trial?
So yeah, you're right. Because once we talk to Jarek, the trial by fire quest, we take that, and then he's like, "You're going to testify before a 22-person tribunal," which is really a 2-person tribunal, but
right. There are other people that are just kind of standing around, but they don't say anything.
They do not do or say anything. There isn't even really a decision that's reached. The whole thing is a farce, but we'll get into that.
Mm-hmm.
And then yeah, we basically get teleported into the consulate, not the consulate docks, the consulate instance.
Yeah. So here we are at the consulate because that's where all the diplomacy happens, apparently.
Is that how you say that? Consulate?
Consulate, yeah.
I've been saying consulate my whole life.
But there's an S in there.
I know, like conj, like j. I don't know.
Bujuj.
I've been screwing it up, guys. Consulate. Awesome.
Consulate, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You can tell I don't.
The passports, where you get the passports
You can
and
tell
other things.
You can tell I don't do a lot of traveling.
It's hard.
And once we get there, this is when, because who did you call to testify first?
I think I called in Milani first.
Interesting. I called in Iron Fist first.
I called in Iron Fist second.
I thought I would call the most credible evidence I had first, like front load that shit.
Right. But it didn't really matter, did it?
It turns out Morgan is like an A-list spin doctor.
Yeah.
he's absolutely savage in this fucking court case.
Yeah.
Morgan pretty much obliterates everything we come up with. So how did you do with presenting Milani first?
Not good.
Not good.
Not good.
I don't know if I called Milani at all.
He basically was like, you betrayed your village, is basically what he tells her.
Oh yeah, because I called her near the end. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you follow the wiki's order?
No, I didn't. Can you win this?
I think you can at least not get to max pissed offiness with the Cordons. I don't really think it matters though.
No, I think it's kind of a fun. So like we should describe like the mini game, because there's like a game. This is gamified in a certain way.
Yes.
There's you get a bar up in the corner. And it's like halfway filled up. You're
trying to sway. Yeah, you're basically trying to win it for Istan, and not win it for Cornin.
Now, as you piss Corna off more and more, does it turn red?
Yes, the bar fills up.
Because it starts blue, doesn't it?
I think red is for Corna and blue is for Istan.
Okay, mine was blue for most of it, but Morgan did not seem happy.
So then you were filling up the Istan bar.
Yeah, I guess I was filling up the because you can also choose when you go up to talk to Morgan. You can choose different dialogue options, and some are more aggressive than others.
So okay, I don't think I even talked to. I think I just called witnesses, and in whatever order seemed like it would make sense-ish.
Yeah, it's hard. So this thing kind of goes by in a blur, and I was very focused on it, so I wasn't really notating it as I was doing it. But from what I remember, you talk to Soul to call a witness, and then they give their testimony, and then Morgan gets an exclamation over his head, and you go talk to him, and you have a set of 3 responses, and you can pick one, and one of them is like, well, Varys was kind of doing bad stuff, and then the next one is like neutral, and then the next one is like Corna's a giant piece of shit and everyone there should die. Like those are like your 3 those are like your 3 options you can pick. Right. And I was like, well, this is a diplomatic meeting. I'll pick the fairly neutral option every time. So that might have had to do with my bar not blowing up. Did your bar blow up?
Yeah, I don't think mine went full red, because I don't think I ever what I did was I picked what I would consider the logical choices, not the piss you off choices, but he was still getting mad.
Gotcha. Maybe my bar went red and I just wasn't paying attention to it. Guys, the footage will be on the screen. If you notice my bar went red, just go ahead and roast the hell out of me in the comments.
I will say that did you ever call Talcora?
No,
as a witness?
I did not.
Oh, I did.
Really?
I did. And they're like, Talcora, where did she go? Is she here? She's not here.
She's not there.
I'm like, well, Talcora's not here. Okay, who's your next witness? And I was like, well, crap.
Because she shows up later.
I think that is when I called, I can't remember if I called Iron Fist at this point. No,
did you ever call Dunkoro?
I may have been that I called Dunkoro after Talcora never showed up.
Let me tell you about calling Dunkoro because it's wild.
Uh-huh.
I called Dunkoro second after Iron Fist, and Dunkoro
Okay.
basically comes out and he's like, I've done a lot of really awesome shit. I'm very cool. And then, I'm not shitting you. This is what he does. And then he thoroughly denounces Kaya and Varys. She's like, they're both pieces of shit. They should both die. And then he gives no evidence whatsoever.
Right.
Nothing. He
Right.
gives nothing in terms of evidence. He's just like, I am awesome, and this is what I think. You should believe me because I am awesome. I think Dunkoro might suck.
I think Dunkoro thinks he's Togo.
He really does believe he is the Master Togo, but he has
Yeah.
none of Master Togo's like badass grandpa energy.
This is true.
Master Togo's the fucking man. Dunkoro
Yeah.
definitely is not.
No. No.
So the order I called these guys in, I called Iron Fist and then Dunkoro and then Milani.
Okay.
Iron Fist, if you call him, that's when he
Yeah.
mentions, so he gives his piece. He says like, hey, Kayet's been paying us for a while. She would pay us to raid
Right. Yeah.
Istani ships.
Yes.
And then at the end, he mentions that he's glad he sent a decoy to meet Kayet because otherwise he'd be dead, right?
Right.
So
Yeah.
we killed the decoy in the
Right.
in the
Yes.
mission.
Yes. Yes.
It wasn't even him.
Right.
So that was kind of a cool detail that they worked in there.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, Milani's was. I think Milani got roasted the hardest by Morgan out of
She
everybody.
did. She did. Yeah. Yeah. Because she was supposed to. She talks about how Varys is enslaving the centaurs and
Because she's
wrecking
Corn.
her village.
Yeah,
And
she's
whatnot,
Cornin.
and
She's from Corna.
yeah, and Morgan is like, "Oh, that village, Ronjak. Yeah, weren't you expelled from your village?"
For like being an eco-terrorist.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Apparently she like destroyed an irrigation fixture that like
Yeah, the
helps
waterworks.
yeah, that
Mhm.
like helps irrigate the land and feed the population. He really paints her out to be a menace.
Yeah.
Which is very funny. Yeah,
Mhm.
everything we put out there Morgan slaps down really hard. It's like
Really hard.
it's like he went to law school for and he had a side degree in roasting extra hard. He's amazing.
Yeah.
The reason I didn't call Takora was because I think she was a total goofball last episode.
Yeah.
Like when we
Yeah.
confronted Kaya and she just like popped off before I was done like
Right.
doing
I
my
think
thing.
I called her after we started. I picked something about we went to go and defend Faranur or something. Anyways, I can't remember what I did. You'll have to look at my footage. But I ended up calling her because I was like, well, I mean, she's the one who overheard them, so let's call her in. And then she wasn't even there, and I was like, damn.
Yeah, I was not impressed with her conduct, so I resolved not to call her.
Yeah.
Overall, this quest is cool though. It's like it's very
It is.
different.
Mhm.
It's very unique. And it's very fun choosing the options and seeing what the outcomes are.
Yeah.
So this is like a high point in the story for me. I think I quite like this quest.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
And then Talcora finally does show up, and she brings Kormir in.
She brought mommy.
Yes.
Mommy's back.
And then what cracks me up is that when Talcora jumps in, she's like, I'm back! And you're like, thanks.
She busts through the wall like the Kool-Aid Man.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like Shrek at that wedding where he's like, I object. Takora does one of those.
Yes.
And she's got Kormir with her. And Kormir essentially throws the gauntlet down and just straight up challenges Korna to a full-on war.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She basically she has none of General Morgan's like flair. She has none of his refinement. She's much more of a blunt instrument. She certainly doesn't have the comedic chops of General Morgan.
No.
But she basically just comes in and goes, "Get fucked, loser. We're going to war."
Pretty much. Pretty much. Yeah. And she basically says that she's brought allies from Cantha and Tyria. She's seen firsthand what havoc Varish and her cronies are wreaking elsewhere, and she's here to basically save the day.
She's here to kick ass and chew bubblegum.
Pretty yes. And Morgan, trying to act cool, says, well, we're done here, Sewell. I gotta go.
He's like, I gotta go prepare for war with you.
War, yeah.
Goodbye.
Yeah, although he tells Sewell to ignore Kormir's wild ravings, is what he calls.
Yeah, he basically warns Sewell. He's like, hey, if you want to talk to me personally, we could still save this, but you gotta put her on a leash.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then next, well, I think after the quest we do next, we kind of bully Soul into going on. No, it's in the cutscene right after this dialogue exchange. We basically bully Soul into doing what we want. War. Yeah. And you know, when Morgan's walking out, he's like, by the way, I can still leave, right? I can leave on my ship that's docked at your dock. Thank you.
Right, yeah.
we're not at war yet. I can still leave.
Yes.
So yeah, a cutscene plays after this. Is it after this or is it later? No, it's at the end of Time Is Nigh. It's like 4 quests down the line.
Oh God. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but we're gonna be bullying Soul into helping us later.
Right. I know. Yeah, these all just sort of like blend. They sort of blend into each other. We've got after this. Yeah. So after this, we've got 3. We've got to go prepare for war in 3 quests called War Preparations.
Yeah, War Preparations : The Reckoning, or whatever.
Right.
War Preparations Revolutions. War Preparations Reloaded.
Yeah.
So the first one is actually called War Preparations Recruit Training.
Yes.
And this destroyed my note taking because the way I take notes is I write the name of the quest and I put parentheses. Quest.
Okay.
But all these quest names have parentheses in them. End of rant.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that they went with the parentheses instead of just like the colon or something, but they did, and here we are.
War Preparations 3 Revolution. Yeah. Sorry, these quests are silly, and they're filler nonsense.
They are silly. They are very. It's like the anime filler episodes. This is what you get because they're all silly, and I don't know why they put them in here.
I'd much rather have
I'd
much rather have a Hot Springs episode than these quests.
Yes. This felt like, and I'm going to make a Guild Wars 2 reference. When you have to go and fill up the progress bar on certain maps to progress the story? Actually, because I'm pretty sure that's still a thing, even though I haven't played the game in
they did that for like 4 Living World seasons. People are familiar with the progress bar.
And people are still pissed off. So this is basically what that is, but the quests go a little bit more quickly. You fill up the progress bar a little bit more quickly, but it's still just as annoying.
At least, so there's 3 of them. There's War Preparations Recruit Training, War Preparations Wind and Water, and War Preparations Ghost Reconnaissance, which I have just dubbed Ghost Recon because I think that's funny.
Yes.
War Preparations Recruit Training is definitely a bottom of the barrel filler quest.
It's in the Plains of Jaren, which is in like not even like the higher level area. It's in literally like the level 2 area. Like you can just
this is a level
walk past
level -2 zone.
Yeah, and so you're walking past all of these level 0 to 2 Fang Dabogas, which really they don't have fangs. And you get out there and you've got to help Narashi train the new recruits.
And I have a theory about this quest that they had more planned for it and they just ran out of steam.
I guess.
So yeah, you got to help train recruits. Again, we've already done this before in like the first episode of Nightfall, but whatever.
Yeah.
We got to go kill a group of scale with the new recruits.
Yeah.
I have a movement speed skill, so I ran over there, got there first, and killed them all before anyone showed up.
Oh, well, there you go. And also, the scale are like level 13 and 15 in the level 2 zone. And I'm like, don't think that this quest was meant for this area, and they just put it in the wrong place, or they ran out of places to put it in.
I think all three of these quests were put in at the last minute because playtesting felt like Consulate docs came up too fast.
Right.
Because when you get back from killing the scale, Narashi is like, oh, go talk to Atok, see what he wants. And I go talk to Atok, and he's like, hi, I don't need any help. Go talk to Rogus. And I talk to Rogus, and he's like, hi, I don't need any help. You should talk to Puba for your quest reward, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
What?
It's very silly.
I think we were supposed to do something for Atok. I think we're supposed to help Rogus like build a siege engine of some sort, because that's what he's good at, right? And I think they just I don't even know if it's that they didn't have time. I think they were just like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I hope you didn't hear the motorcycle that just ran past.
I think I was screaming about Rogus too audibly, but yeah, super lazy quest work on this one. Not to say that the game developers are lazy, but wherever they had to allocate time resources, it was not here.
It was not here, definitely not. No. But after this, so which one did you do next?
I did them in the order that they were in my quest log. Next was War Preparations, Wind and Water.
Yes, same. And this one takes us out to Matani Keys, I want to say, yes?
Yeah, Matani Keys. I remembered as soon as they said the name of this captain guy that you get the quests from, of course, whose name I did not write down. I was like, that's the guy in Kodlanu Hamlet. Yeah. Because I remember seeing him in Kodlanu Hamlet and being like, he's got a name. He's a quest boy. So the premise of this quest is that before we can set sail for Korna, because apparently we're invading Korna, we're the smaller force and we're doing the invading.
Right.
Wild. Audacious, even. We have to perform a ritual to Dwayna because she is the goddess of the air as well as of like healing and stuff.
Yes.
And if we don't, it's not going to be literal smooth sailing. So
correct.
We gotta the sailors are gonna do this ritual, and we gotta protect.
Yep.
And there's a bunch of water djinn spawn and try to kill the sailors doing the ritual.
Yep.
We kill them all.
We do.
And then
finally we get the blessing of wind and water.
Yeah, a very nice water djinn named Kinya Kayla spawns.
Yes.
And you'd think she'd be pissed off because we just killed a bunch of her brethren, but she's like, you did good, son. Take this blessing. So that was a weird interaction.
Yeah.
And we do get an actual quest item in our inventory. That is the blessing. Did you see the quest item? I
did not. No, I was too busy trying to knock these quests out.
Yeah, you actually get an inventory item, and then you go talk to Puba, and it's immediately gone, so there's no purpose to that inventory item existing.
Right. Okay. Good times.
Yeah, so that's filler quest number 2. At least that one has, like, an interesting premise, right?
Yes.
I like the idea that the Astani feel the need to pray to Dwayna before they go to war. And then the next one... Ghost Recon, Ghost Reconnaissance.
Ghost Recon, yep. This one takes us out to Latenda Bog.
Did you have any thoughts about any of the dialogue in this quest?
Well, I would have, except that when I interacted with the ghost, they immediately all went hostile, and then I was like, well, I don't want to die. Because they're attacking my people, and I just ended up defeating them. So I don't even know that they said, and if they said anything, I couldn't even read it.
There's just one line that's really weird that we'll talk about.
Yeah, I can see it on the wiki what they said, but yeah, it was you basically have to prove yourself to these Sunspear ghosts that you are worthy to carry on the name of Sunspear.
Well, the ghosts are gonna join us in the invasion. It's straight up Return of the King type shit.
I mean, well, yes.
We're recruiting them to come with us.
But at the same time, it's like, well, right, but you got to prove that you're worthy of them.
Oh yeah, we have to fight them, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think we both knew that when we took the quests.
Yeah. Yes, and so they're First Spear Jaina, Kojalin the Conciliator, and Sogalan the Protector, and this is who Sogalan is named for.
Yes, and it says that in his initial dialogue blurb when you talk to him when he's like level 2. I'm not taking Sogalan anymore. I was taking the Mesmer henchman and the Elementalist henchman with me. So one of them, I don't remember which one says this, but right before they go hostile, one of them says, quote, "Through war, we achieve peace."
Yeah.
Which is like some real 1984 type shit.
Yes.
It's some real, there's some real double think going on in that sentence. And it's worrying and fascist. So I don't know how good the Sun Spears will be.
Yep.
But we kick the shit out of these guys.
We do. They don't take much to kill, despite there being 3 of them. That they all go hostile immediately and simultaneously.
I didn't even see what level they were. I just attacked them and they died.
I didn't either, but the wiki says that they're level 12.
Yeah, I had a party of like level 17 to 19 heroes. It was over before it began.
Yeah.
And Sogalan, once we kick their asses, Sogalan says that they'll help us on the invasion.
Right.
So it's it really is Return of the King shit.
Yeah.
And we turn that one into Puba too, and we're getting experience for all this, right? So I'm like leveling up. It's nice.
That is true. Yep.
My heroes are leveling up. It's feeling good. And then we get a quest, I assume from Puba, because that's who we're talking to, called The Time is Nigh. I think this is the one you have to be level 17 or a rank 5 Sun Spear to do.
Yes, you better be a Sun Spear Captain or level 17.
Yes, and we need to meet Kormir in the Tyria fields to rally the troops. Yeah. That's that little training area behind Kamadan.
Yeah, we've got to go rally the troops. Again. So this is essentially what we did at the start of Nightfall when we were rallying the troops, and
the quest is literally called Rally the Troops, I'm pretty sure, or Rally the Recruits, I think is the name of the first quest in the game you do.
Right, but this is basically copy pasta, except that now we're actually going to war.
This whole section was crammed in because they were like, how do we get from Blacktide Den to Consulate Docks? How do we do that?
Right.
And they just kind of plopped these in there. And we show up to where Kormir is in the Tyria fields, and we've got maybe like 20 dudes.
Yeah. And they, we don't have to do anything. We just show up, and Kormir is, of course, rallying the troops, and she's trying to tell them. Now, what got me here is that, all this time we've been getting this, like, the dialogue to either pop up on screen, in the middle of your screen. And here we just get speech bubbles. The blurb guy. Yeah, but here now we're back to speech bubbles, and I think it was also in the chat box. I don't think, well, maybe not.
Yeah, I don't think, I think any overhead dialogue is in the chat box now in Nightfall. I think our days of that not happening in Prophecies and Factions are at an end.
But her dialogue, I can't recall if it was in the chat box, but I'm pretty sure it was speech bubbles. I don't think she actually got the pop-up.
Yeah, it's not the blurb dialogue. It's just speech bubbles. It is in the chat box, I think, because I rely on the chat box heavily to take my notes. Her speech is fine. It's no Night's Watch pledge, right?
No.
But it's fine. She's basically like, you're Sun Spears. You're real good at fighting. Always fight, never fight alone, I think is their motto.
Yeah, Sun Spear never fights alone. That's what she ends with.
Yeah, and they do like the Captain Planet type of thing, right?
Yeah.
Put their hands in and do a big hooray. And she tells us to go prep the assault plans with Elder Sewell, and this is when we end up in a cutscene in Elder Sewell's office.
Yes. And she basically just threatens him. She's like, we're going to do this whether you're in with us or not. I don't care.
Yeah, she's a loose cannon. She's a warmonger. She
Yeah.
has the diplomatic ability of like a tablespoon. Um, yeah, I'm
I would
not.
have said a meat tenderizer because she's basically bludgeoning
Yeah,
poor soul into this.
yeah, that would be an apt comparison. Yeah, I'm
Hmm.
not impressed with Kormir as a leader so far, honestly.
No.
She's brave. She's very brave and courageous. But that's
Sure.
not always what's necessary, right?
No.
And I imagine if somebody like level-headed had the discourse with Morgan, you may have had you may have had a different outcome. But
Kormir is kind of. She goes off a bit half cocked in a similar way to Rurik.
yeah, she's a little Rurikian.
She's a bit Rurikian, yes.
Except she has like almost more power than Rurik does.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
and the reason she has that, it's the classic, right? Like you may be the one who's officially in charge, but the people follow me, right?
Right.
She has the
Right.
people. So she could do what
Mm-hmm.
she wants essentially. Like her
Yeah.
soldiers will follow her, right? It's like when there's like a coup in a government, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whoever like whatever guy the soldiers obey the orders of is the guy who's
Right.
going to win.
Right.
Cormyr could have a coup any day and be the queen of Istan if she wanted to.
If she wanted to.
Have a coup. Is that how you describe that happening? Let's have a coup. Um,
Yeah, so but Sewell is kind of he's a bit flabbergasted. Um
he wants
that
us to
she
be
would
diplomatic.
right and she's like he's like we haven't exhausted our diplomatic channels. Why do you want civil war? And she's just like it's yeah, no. We're Are you with us or not? Because we're going.
Both her and our character, because we back her up on this, we're like, but
Mm-hmm.
Varish is really bad.
Yeah.
um,
We've seen with our own eyes. Yeah.
yeah, we're basically fully in the camp of Varish is summoning demons to bring nightfall to the land. Way back in the war preparations recruit training quest, we kind of glazed over it, but Cormyr gives like a rundown of what she was doing while she was out and about. Um,
Yeah.
she's like, yeah, actually, Abaddon is the former sixth god, but he's not a god anymore. He was imprisoned in the realm of torment by the other five gods, right? Like she does one of those
Right.
plot
Yeah.
babbling plot expositions.
Mm-hmm.
She also doesn't give a reason why Abaddon was imprisoned by the other gods. She's just like
No.
they put him away. Fuck it.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And apparently Varish and Kayet are planning to break him free,
Break
which
him
is
free.
what Nightfall is when Abaddon breaks free from his imprisonment. He brings Nightfall to the land. So that's why we're like all in on storming Korna at this place called Gandhara, the Moon Fortress,
Yeah.
which is one of the best names for a city I think
It
I've
really is.
encountered in all of fantasy literature.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's kind of the information that Cormyr brings back from her travels with the Zacian. Still don't really know where she went or what she did, but we get some hints in some quests that are coming up.
Yes.
So yeah, she basically says, "Listen, we're doing it with you, or we're doing it without you, Soul. And the main thing we need Soul's support for is ships. We need extra ships." And
Yeah.
he agrees to provide ships after we have strong armed him into doing so.
Yeah. Yeah. Him and his two friends who were with him.
Does he have two people with him?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even register them while I was watching this
They
cutscene.
they don't. They just stand there.
They're visual
And
ornaments.
they're visual ornaments, and they emote when he's trying to deliberate. They're
Okay.
like, "Oh yeah." Mm-hmm. And so yes. He
And
consults them, but they don't actually speak. They just nod.
yes, very limited animation in the Guild Wars 1 engine.
Mm-hmm.
And once he agrees to that, the game spawns us into the Consulate Docks mission outpost.
Yes. And it's a pretty cool area. This is where you can get max level armor.
Yep, there's an armor vendor. I think there's no merchant. I think there's just an armor vendor.
Correct.
Because I had to sell stuff to the armor vendor.
Yes. Yes. And I couldn't I thought that there was a weapon vendor in here as well, but there's not.
I was hoping there was because I was like, I'm gonna get some max level weapons too. That'll be
Yeah.
great. I
Yeah.
am stuck with very shitty weapons on all my heroes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm like
Yep.
picking stuff up off the floor, like, ooh, that's slightly more damage than what Koss has now. I'll give it. You can see me in the video footage. I'm like putting new swords on Koss.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm like scavenging for scraps for my heroes right now.
Yes.
So yeah, I bought the armor. I dyed it turquoise.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I did a little dye mixing. When you dye an armor
Nice.
piece, there's a window you can put
Yeah.
extra dyes into.
Yeah.
And if you did finger painting in kindergarten, you'll know how to mix colors to make other colors. So I got some blues and greens, and I'm a turquoise dervish now.
Excellent.
Yeah, he looks very cool.
Cool.
Is your max armor good looking, cool looking?
It's all right. I went and got the I can't remember what skin it is now.
I got the sun spear
I think
armor. It's got
I gotta
spikes.
look it up. Oh yeah, that is a cool one. I'll tell you which one I got in a second. It's the no, that's not it. What is happening here?
I think the choices are Elonian, sun spear.
Elonian. Elonian is what I went with this time. Thank you.
Gotcha.
Sorry.
Elonian Paragon.
Yeah, because I'd been rocking the sun spear one. I think I started out with the Stane one,
switch it up,
and then I went and got the sun spear one while I was running around, and then this one I went with Elonian.
Yeah, this outpost is really tiny, but there's a few people here we recognize because out in her travels, Kormir apparently brought back the gang with Menlo and Devona.
The gang is back. Yes,
they are, and
the gang is back.
They've lost a few levels of experience. They're all level 17,
Yes.
which is hilarious. Did you talk to the gang?
No, I did not. I talked to Menlo.
I'll give you one guess as to what Devona talks about when you talk to her here.
Her father and his guild.
Bingo. Yep.
Yeah.
No surprises there. And if you talk to Adan, the ranger guy, he talks about watching his father being murdered by Char and having done terrible things in retaliatory vengeance.
Okay.
The phrase retaliatory vengeance here being redundant.
Yes.
I got up at 5:30 in the morning. It's been a day.
It's okay.
Eve waxes poetic about gruesome necromantic delights. She literally, like, you just start talking to her and she's like, I love undead guts and flesh being peeled off of things. Like, she just, like, it's just a whole paragraph of her, like...
She is in love with being... she's in love with her profession. It's her calling.
She really is, yeah. And you talk to Sin, and she basically just confirms how violent of a person she is.
Yes.
No shock. There's no shocking information here. It's just more of the same flavor that we enjoy.
Yes.
And Menlo is just Menlo, right? He's like
he's cool.
Yeah, he's like, hey, Kormir brought us here, right? He kind of gives you the backstory. There's
but
two.
Menlo's purpose is really for you to talk to him to go get your heroes.
Yeah, how are we gonna talk about this?
How are you going to get heroes from the two other campaigns? I know. You give him the gang, and Menlo will take you there.
He'll take care of it.
He'll take care of it because he's Menlo.
Yeah, so there's two quests here from... Do you get these quests from Menlo? I think you get them from, like, one of the like, clerks or something. From Dinja.
Dinja, yes. Dinja's the one that gives you both of them. Yeah,
she has a quest called All for One and One for Justice, and she has a quest called Chasing Zen Mai.
Yes.
These are both hero quests. We will get a hero from these.
Mm-hmm.
But we have to go to the other campaigns to do these.
Yeah.
And that involves going and getting an entirely different quest, doesn't it? We got to go all the way back into Camadan and go over to that back dock area and talk to two dudes who can hook us up with getting to Cantha and to Tyria.
Right. Yes.
And
although I think I think if you go, can't you go talk to Menlo?
Will he just
I
do
think
this
that's what
for
I
you? Did I take too many steps?
um
I
because
might
I
have.
went looking for. I'm trying to remember. I think I ended up talking to Menlo. I went looking for the people that would take you over, like to do the back way, like you were just describing.
Yeah, that's what I
Um,
did.
yeah, that's kind of like the roundabout way that I went and did. That I got over to Lion's Arch, and you were like, "Why didn't you do this way for with my factions character?" Oh, when we were doing the Togo bonus mission, that's what it
Right.
was. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no combat in these in getting to like Lion's Arch or getting to Kaining Center from
Mm-hmm.
Istan. You just kind of do some chit chatting and you can go right over.
Mm-hmm.
So there's like a cutscene that plays, and then there's like an instance where you can talk to people to get like the backstory of what's going on in those campaigns. We've already played through them, so we don't really need to go over that.
Yeah.
I started to talk to him, and I was like, "Oh, this is what this is," and then I stopped. I stopped talking to people in those instances.
Yeah, because it was all the same.
Yeah, because
But
we've played that on the show. If
mm-hmm.
you didn't listen to those episodes for some reason, go do that. Listen
Yeah.
from episode 1 up till now. We'll see you back in a little bit.
Right.
I did All for One and One for Justice, the one that takes you to Tyria first.
So did I.
This quest is mechanically uninteresting, and not very interesting from a story perspective either.
No, you have to go and get Elias. You're helping him. And you have to find him in Bloodstone Fen. So it basically pops you in like halfway, not even halfway through the mission.
3/4 of the way through the mission.
It's like 3/4 of the mission. That's probably even generous. It's probably like 7/8 of the way through the mission.
Right next to the Bloodstone, yeah.
Right next to the Bloodstone, and you find out that Elias was apparently he was a White Mantle, and the White Mantle think that he has betrayed them.
I believe he is a defector, so they
Yes.
consider him a traitor.
Traitor, right? Which, fair enough, because we, the player character, we were also part of the White Mantle, and we defected.
We were like, small world. Funny story.
Right. Funny story. Yeah.
Yeah, apparently this guy was a guy that Kormir like heard about or met while she was traveling about with the Zacian.
Her travels, yes.
Apparently he's hot shit. He's a
and she thinks
he's a
that he'd be a good. Yes, and she thinks that he'd be a good Sunspear.
Yeah, and
which is basically the reason that we go get both of these, recruit both of these people in, these heroes in, because Kormir thinks that they'd make good Sunspears.
And we need all the help we can get because Korna has like a giant army, and we have 20 guys. Right. So we're doing the best we can out here. Yeah, they teleport us way over to Bloodstone Fen. Thank God we didn't have to run there, or I would just skip this.
Yeah.
Because that would be a whole evening. And he says, so the premise of the quest is that the White Mantle abducted some Crichton citizens as chosen, as they are known to do. And we're trying to
sacrifice them.
Yeah, we're trying to save them.
Yep.
So Elias is on the case, and he says we can either help him rescue the chosen or serve as raw material for his minion army.
Yes.
I think he and Eve should go on a date.
They should. They should. But what this does serve is that if you hadn't played through Prophecies, you basically get the entire reason why we're not with the White Mantle right here in this little thing.
Yeah, do you
think White Mantle sacrificing Crichtons on the Bloodstone?
That's actually an interesting thing to point out, that this is a microcosm of the player's storyline in Kryta.
Yeah.
How
are we gonna boil it down?
I hadn't like plugged that plug into that outlet, but yeah, they basically give you a little mini synopsis of what you're in for if you play Prophecies. Right. So Elias, the good old surrogate player character.
Yes.
And once we got to kill some like jungle trolls. It's all very mundane, but we get to the Bloodstone, and they really wanted to sell you on the Prophecies experience, because we are immediately confronted with a boss with an awesome name.
Yes, Erudai the inimical.
What does inimical mean?
Inimical. Hang on, I gotta look it up because it's a word that I know, and yet here we go. Tending to obstruct or harm.
Hell yes.
Yes,
Hell
actions that are
yes.
inimical to our interests. Yes,
This word I
yes.
did not know at all. So, as I promised at the
There you go.
beginning of the episode, we're growing my vocabulary one
There you
episode at a
go.
time.
That's
Inimical.
right.
Yeah, this is Urulai. Urulai. I don't know how to say this. I'm going to say Urulai.
Here. Okay.
Lorelai?
Yeah.
Urulai the Inimical. And
Inimical. Yes.
I think he's also a Necro. I think.
Maybe
He's some sort of spellcaster.
he is a necro. Yes, you're right.
Yeah, and he when we get to him, he calls out to we like beat him up, and he calls out to the Mursat, the unseen gods of the spoiler alert. I'm assuming you've listened to every episode of this show if you're listening to episode 32. Okay.
Right.
And some beings do show up.
Yeah, but they're not the unseen gods.
They're not the unseen gods. And before this, I did want to point out that Olias and Urulai have a very like verbose, almost like theatrical dialogue exchange.
My God, yes.
And I was like,
like
this has to be a reference to like a play or something. Like, I don't know if I didn't look it up, but it just felt like the writing for like a stage play, the way they were really throwing it back and forth.
It's very like Greek tragedy.
Yeah, super duper. It's very theatrical. So that was fun, but also TLDR. I got the point that they don't care for each other. And it's actually some of these weird demons that we've been seeing. We saw the scythes and the grasps of chaos.
In case you weren't clear on the fact that Nightfall is about to hit all of planet Tyria.
Yeah, it's not just Ilona. It's not just Ilona Cantha and Country Tyria. It's Planet Tyria. Planet Tyria is also the name of my upcoming nightclub chain that I am launching. It's gonna be very good. But Planet Tyria. We should have called this podcast Planet Tyria. We should have called this channel Planet Tyria. Planet Tyria is good. I can't stop thinking about it.
We're gonna have to rebrand
again. Is it too late for a rebrand? Planet Tyria. That's just sticking in my head. But these demons have spawned on Planet Tyria directly in front of our faces.
Right, and they pop out of the little pinky purple chaos rifts, which we encountered last episode.
Yes, the same types of rifts that we saw in Kamadan that we stopped from spawning, and we got to kill them. And there's some new ones that I got a Blade of Corruption and I got a Herald of Nightmares in mine.
Oh, I thought we've got. I think I had a Blade of Corruption and an Arm of Insanity.
Oh, I didn't get an Arm of Insanity. Maybe it's random, or maybe I didn't notice the Arm of Insanity.
Okay.
Those are all they're wild looking. I'll try to put the pictures of them up on the screen when I say them, because they're pretty gnarly looking. They're just wild ass looking demons.
Yeah, they are.
They're level 20. They're not that hard. They're going to be hard in their endgame iterations later, but right now they're not that hard.
No.
And we kill them with Olias.
And Elias is like, "Cool, I like you." And then you go back to Kamadan, and you talk to Clerk Arlon, who we didn't want to see again ever, but he fills out our paperwork again. And literally gives him a temporary Sunspear visa.
Elias gets a visa. Yep. And much so, as you were pointing out, that Elias is the surrogate player character for the purposes of explaining what Prophecies is about. He also, much like the player character in Prophecies, goes, "You know what? I don't really have a lot going on. Why don't I join you?"
Right.
Which is basically what we spend the entire Prophecies campaign doing. So yeah, Elias, great, awesome. He's a level 15 necromancer, and he's our boy now. He's our necromancer man.
Yes. And you gave him Aura of the Lich.
He is rocking Aura of the Lich. He's summoning minions like crazy. And he's got Death Nova, and that's what he does. He summons minions, casts Death Nova on them, and sends them to their death.
Yeah, that's pretty much what my build is like, except that I gave him Animate Flesh Golem.
Flesh Golem, so I'm always tempted to use Flesh Golem, but Aura of the Lich, it summons so many at once. I love it.
I know.
But the Flesh Golem is very cool.
Yeah, and I ended up going with that over Aura of the Lich, even though Aura of the Lich is on. I have Aura of the Lich builds saved on my account.
I mean, so there's a lot of different minion, like, not to go too far down the buildcraft rabbit hole, but there's a lot of different minion build variations. They're all pretty good.
Yes.
Jagged Bones is sweet. Like, take your pick, really. It's dealer's choice.
I basically went with Animate Flesh Golem because it has a lower energy cost and it recharges 15 seconds faster.
That's pretty good.
A 30 recharge instead of a 45. So I was like, yay, sure, that'll help his energy out.
Yeah, I got a bunch of actually, because I went Death Magic and Curses, so I could add Barbs and Mark of Pain, which will help with just like extra damage when the minions hit things.
Yeah, I mean, and I might end up switching in. I love curses. Curses are great.
We will be getting another Necromancer hero later.
I know. So. Yeah, I will, and I've got lots of curse builds saved. Anyways.
Well, and I've got my dervish is going to be Vow of Strength, which is like 100 blades, but for dervishes. And then I've got Koss on 100 blades. And Mark of Pain is just synchronizes very well with 100 blades and Vow of Strength. So I had to do it.
You're going to have to do it. Yeah.
I had to do it. So Elias is rocking a sweet minion curses build.
Nice.
And then we've got a quest called Chasing Zenmai to add an assassin hero named Zenmai to our party.
Yep. And where do we have to go?
We got to go. Pick her up. Yeah, we got to go over to Cantha, which is kind of the same story as going over to Tyria. You talk to a few people, you take a boat.
Yeah.
You get off. They tell you the plot of the game.
Yeah, and we at least get to go to Kaineng Center. We don't have to like go through Wajin Bazaar or anything like that.
Thank God. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we
but we do have to find her out in Bukdek Byway.
We got to go back to Bukdek Byway. Yeah, and I got lost of like I knew I would. Did you pull it up on the wiki or did you try to freeform it?
No, I freeformed it. I just tried to pay attention to where the paths were, and I was like, wait, we literally ran around this city so much and not that long ago that I was like, right, I think it's this way.
You can see in my video footage when I get lost. It's very embarrassing.
Yeah, it's all right. And then we ended up having to go to the Undercity because Zenmai used to work for the Ampha.
She used to be an Ampha.
And the Ampha, who are the Ampha, Aaron?
The Ampha are one of two primary gangs that govern Cantha because the actual government is incapable.
That's right. And so Zenmai used to be an Ampha, and she's like tired of them. And
she's a Mozing now.
Yes.
Which is basically a Ronin, but for
for assassins.
The Guild Wars assassin class. Yeah.
Yes.
the definitely not a ninja class.
No, right.
And so she's a masterless assassin. She works on like contract by contract basis. So she's a killer for hire, essentially.
That's right.
She's the assassin with a heart of gold. Because she's not quite so much a psycho as Panaku is.
This is true.
She says that the Ampha kidnapped her current employer along with a bunch of other like just random Kainengites. That's not the term.
No.
And they bring back the good old Chalice of Corruption.
Yep, because essentially they're probably going to try to turn them into
afflicted.
Afflicted, yes, thank you. That's the word. So basically, here again, you're getting a little snippet. Here's the plot of factions.
Yeah, and this one was a lot more. I just thought it was cool that they brought up that Corruption Chalice, because that is an
Mhm.
optional side quest chain.
It really is, yeah.
Yeah, and we did that one, and I was like,
We did.
I get that reference.
Mm-hmm.
It made me happy.
Yeah. Nowhere is Shiro mentioned, but doesn't matter. You get the little
Yeah, because
reference to the afflicted. They're coming.
yeah,
So
the plague is very much the introductory plot in
yes.
factions, the same way
Hmm.
that the White Mantle is an introductory plot in Prophecies, right?
Right.
We get to
Right.
Titans. Prophecies is also the pacing of Prophecies is wild.
Yes.
Because like the White Mantle are like a half of the game almost, and then the actual
Hmm.
antagonist is just in the last mission. Um,
Right.
Factions is better paced, so
Hmm.
the plot foreshadowing makes a little more sense.
Yeah. So we have to go and rescue her former boss and friends, the tourists. I loved it that they had Canthan tourists
And one
as
of them
people that were
is just an Elonian skinned person, like they just have the Elonian model.
right.
It's great. I don't know what's happening there, but it's great.
I don't know, but they took a bunch of people who decided that they were going to be. We've got a tourist, we've got a poet, someone is just like a merchant, and the other one is like a fashion designer or something. And you're like, what are you guys doing here in the Undercity?
It's a real
In the
motley
sewers,
collection of
yeah.
folks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they're like rattling off dialogue things, and I'm like, I'm fighting guys. I don't have time to read whatever this is.
What's funny because I was expecting there to be more Ampha like popping up simultaneously or one wave after another. There was a lot of downtime in between Ampha pop-ups
Oh, if you take
for
this
me.
quest, the entire mob density changes. Um,
Hmm.
like Ampha come in groups of like 3 to 4 instead of groups of 20.
But they take a long time to get there.
Yeah. Oh, there was a pause between enemy spawns. It was after I killed the boss. It must have
Mm-hmm.
taken like
Yes.
2 solid minutes for the group to spawn.
Yeah, I was like, where are the rest of them? Because my quest hasn't updated yet and I just killed the guy.
Yeah, same. And there's
So
nothing
it was
on the
weird,
wiki
yeah.
about this either. The wiki does
No.
say that a mob will spawn, but it doesn't say that it takes 8 years.
Yeah.
So I
I have
thought
a
my quest
feeling
had
that this is
broken.
yeah, I thought I had bugged out as well.
But yeah, luckily I waited long enough, and they eventually spawn because you kill this boss guy, and then a group of Ampharos spawns after. Um,
Right. And then eventually we get some afflicted, right? And then eventually the demons show up, in
I
case
didn't
you were
get any.
wondering.
So there's a group of afflicted that are wandering around just behind the people we rescue, and I was wondering
Yes.
if those were because he says Lael the Vindictive is the boss's name. He says they
Hmm.
already fed the chalice to some of the prisoners, and I was like, those
Right.
afflicted must be those, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was what
I
I was
was gonna
thinking.
go back there to try and kill them, and then all of a sudden the demons finally spawned or something.
I went and killed them while I was waiting for the second Ampha group to spawn because I didn't have anything else to do.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I don't know if you actually have to kill those afflicted for this quest because the quest log never says you do.
Yeah, no, I never did, so I don't think that they were required.
Yeah, and we do get demons after the second Ampha group
We do.
spawns, and
Yes.
it's more the same types of demons we've been seeing so
Hmm.
far.
Yeah. So again, in case you were wondering, yes, there is Nightfall is threatening even Kantha.
Did you hear what Zen Mai has to say about the demons?
No. What did she have to say about the demons?
So in her quest dialogue, she says that she's killed Shirokin, which doesn't make any
Yeah.
sense. It doesn't make any sense based on the plot
Right.
timeline of factions, but
Hmm.
okay.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
and she says that they felt similar to the Nightfall demons. And
Oh,
based on this, that's
interesting.
what makes her agree to join us because she's like, that bad shit felt like the bad shit that was bad shit before.
Okay. Yes. I did remember her saying something about Shirokin and then I tuned out, apparently.
Well, it's bizarre because we take the boat over to factions and they're like, "Hi, welcome to the beginning of factions." And then but Zenmai is joining us for Nightfall, which canonically takes place a couple years after factions. So she can during this quest, she can technically mention the Shirokin,
Hmm.
But just a minute ago, I was getting started on factions. It's just weird. All
Yeah,
right.
it's weird. It's weird.
It's just weird. Um, so yeah, then we take her back to Clerk Arlon, and she gets her visa, and she's in our party now.
Yeah. I guess you could say they needed a bit of some sort of device or reason for you know, Kormir to think that she would be a good something to tie them together
Yeah,
plot wise. They
yeah,
needed a plot device.
yeah. Before you guys get on me about the timeline, I understand that the Zenmai quest specifically takes place during the time that the Nightfall plot takes place.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's just a weird juxtaposition because you just arrive at
Yeah.
Cantha and are getting started on the main plot 2 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and then
Right.
and then it throws you back into Nightfall timeline. It's just
Yeah,
it's just jarring. That's all.
right. Yeah, well, right, exactly, because like Menlo and friends they're basically like, no, there's a new evil here. That's why I've come to help Master Togo. So Togo is alive.
Yeah, and then you and then you take the boat over to Tyria with Menlo, and he's like, "Hello, welcome to 5 years ago."
Right, yeah.
The
My
whole
people
thing,
are under attack.
yeah, the cohesiveness of the whole thing is strange, but I do
Mm-hmm.
understand the timeline, at least vaguely.
Right.
And so how many heroes do we have now?
7.
We have 7, which means no more henchmen ever.
No more henchmen ever.
It was good while it lasted.
Yeah.
Bless them.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I'm looking forward to hopefully maybe one day getting a Mesmer henchman, because I did like bringing in not the henchman, the Mesmer hero, because I did like I love bringing in a Mesmer.
We've got a Mesmer coming down the pipe later in the plot.
I can't wait. Yes, I can't wait.
We're going to be getting another Mesmer, another warrior. We're going to get an elementalist. We're going to get another necro. We'll even be able to get a ritualist.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for all that. I don't have any. I did pre-prep some elites.
What did you give? What did you give Zenmai? You were running around as a assassin for factions.
And it's funny you should say that, because I just slapped my assassin's build on Zenmai and called it a day.
There you go.
Why not? Yeah, and I actually did end up capping this Mesmer skill Energy Surge, because I was like, we're going to be getting the Mesmer, and I want to have a good skill on him. So
yeah,
that happened.
Nice.
Yep. And now I think we get to do the mission.
I think we do.
It's time to attack Korna. It's time to storm Gandara, the Moon Fortress, the stronghold of Varish Asa, ruler of Korna, and consort of demons.
Yes. This mission has the stipulation that we have to take Dunkoro with us.
I just took all my heroes. I didn't even notice.
Yep. Didn't even. Yep. And how difficult would you say this mission is?
I found it easy.
Yeah, I did as well. I remember that at one point, probably the first time I ever ran it, when I went in probably without max armor, I didn't have as good time. But
yeah,
it's now that I've been through that experience. After that, I always remember to make sure that I get better armor before going in, and everything is fine.
There's one tight spot in this, and it's right near the end. There is an elementalist boss, and those can be very devastating in factions and Nightfall because they do double damage. It's really only a problem in hard mode these days. If you're in normal mode, it's not a big deal. Especially now that I've got some sweet builds on my heroes, I chewed through this mission like a lawnmower.
Yep.
This mission is not complicated. It kind of front loads the action, and then you get the story at the end. So we've planned this assault on the Moon Fortress, and we hop off our boats like it's 300, and we just steamroll through this motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like, the bonus is to kill some Cornfield commanders.
Cornfield marshals, yeah.
And that's not hard. Yeah, you just have to split off from the main path a few times, pull up the wiki, it's fine. There's a few instances that the mission has us bring Dunkoro, because there's a few instances where he's like, "Have you forgotten that making plans is my thing?" Right?
Yeah.
And
He does
you'll
like to remind us of that a
yeah,
lot.
you'll run into some sort of minor obstacle, and he'll be like, "I have a plan," right? And and then he'll be like, "Destroy that ballista because it's bad," or "Kill the siege engineers," or something like that, right?
Right.
We're supposed to believe Dunkoro is very smart. He's not fooling
Right.
me. He's not. You're not Master Togo.
No.
So we follow. There's a few problems we run into that Dunkoro helps us solve. We run into Narashi and Lonai about halfway through, and Lonai is like, "I got minions on minions on minions."
Yep.
So I've got a pretty big minion army because I've got like 2 minion mancers, and there's a lot of corpses, so they can both kind of fill their quota.
Yes.
Yeah. And then you kind of get to that elementalist boss at the choke point. He can hit pretty hard, but we nuked him down. It was fine.
Yeah. That's it.
And then after,
if you could just focus those bosses down, the rest are just easy.
yeah, there's a lot of enemies, but you have a lot of NPC allies, so it's not just your 8-person party. You're rolling through with like 12, 14, 15 people. So yeah, you kind of flatten everything. And we corner Varish in her little god mural temple room.
Yes.
Her art gallery.
The plaza, her art gallery. Yes, the Plaza of the Five Gods, I believe, is what this area is called. And that's where she essentially reveals herself as a follower of Abaddon.
Did you see
she summons up demons?
Did you see the butt? There's a butt in one of the paintings.
No.
One of them gods is cheeked up.
I don't think
they snuck that. ANET snuck that into their T-rated game.
Nice.
There's a single butt cleft in the cutscene. It's very funny.
It is.
This is the kind of humor that people come to Tyria then for, is the juvenile pointing out of buttocks. But yeah, there's an Abaddon painting in here too.
There is.
Forbidden art gallery.
Forbidden art gallery. That is because, as we said, Varish is a follower. And it's funny because, like, as you're going through, right, you get to a point where there's like, I think it's Dunkoro's telling Kormir this is a trap. I think it's right before you're going up the stairs to get the last of the bosses, which might be the elementalist boss. And then that checkpoint.
Dunkoro has an Admiral Akbar moment?
Yeah, he's like, "This is a trap. You know this is a trap," and she's like, "I know."
Yeah,
I know it is, and we have to be the ones to make the sacrifice. So she's already like thinking that we're sacrificing ourselves, and I'm like, "This ain't what I signed up for. You sacrifice yourself. What?"
Kind of like a Hollywood action star moment, like, "Don't go, it's a trap." I know.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very Kormir. Kormir is basically Arnold Schwarzenegger. Changed my mind. Okay. Can you imagine if she did like cheesy one-liners? It'd be great.
Oh yeah. 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 So once we go and confront Varys, she's like, "Idiots. Thanks for coming here. You're all gonna just die." And that's when Kormir is like, "Oh no. It's a trap."
Yeah.
And we're like, didn't Dunkoro, your plan guy, told you that already, and you told him that you knew, but now all of a sudden you're surprised.
You turned to him and said, "Eat shit, Dunkoro," and then then you ran off without him, and he was like, "Wait, my knees." And Dunkoro. So, Varish's trap. What does Varish's trap consist of?
The trap is to summon a demon. And actually lots of demons, and essentially eliminate the Sun Spears, our 20 friends, who came armed apparently like the elves of in the Two Towers. They just had bows. They were not Legolas. Cool.
Yeah,
and they get cut down quick.
The Cornin military is much better equipped. They've got they've got like a variety of different professions and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sun Spears came with Rangers only. Not good. And us.
Yeah, and us. Which, to be fair, we're us. Like that's a big
We
deal.
are us. Yeah,
But
it is a big deal.
we immediately run away with our tail between our legs because Daddy
Yeah.
Dunkoro tells us to.
Well, actually, I think it was Kormir who tells us to retreat.
She does, and we're like, "No, I can save you." And Dunkoro is like, "Get the hell out of here!"
Yeah, pretty much.
Because
Kormir
she
said,
doesn't just summon demons; she summons the pièce de résistance demon,
yes, whose name we don't know yet.
but who does have a name.
Who does have a name? Yes. Yes. What cracked me up though is that Kormir is like, "Oh no." She says, "Blast! We're outmatched." And I'm like, they have an army. We have, arrow shooters. What are you talking about, man? Outmatched. We've been outmatched from the start.
We have like a Chuck E. Cheese on a Thursday afternoon's worth of people.
Yes.
And then Dunkoro has the audacity to say, "Gods, she has demons."
Right. Yeah. And Varys is like, your gods are weak, right?
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't care about the other gods. She only thinks about Abaddon because Abaddon gives her strength.
Yes. And the big boy demon, after Varys screams about Abaddon eating people's eyes again.
Yes.
The big demon appears to kill Kormir.
Yeah, he starts to nom on her head.
He does, yeah. She goes down and he's like chowing down like it's dog food. Yes. And that's when Dunkoro is like, "We have to leave."
Yeah.
And we flee the scene as Kormir has her corpse desecrated by a giant demon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Kind of a downer.
Yeah. We've not done well in our taking the fight to Korna.
No, it went poorly.
It went very, very badly. And we've lost Koss apparently. All right, where's Koss? Where are the others? And Dunkoro's like, this way, come across the bridge. And Varys is not impressed with us.
We ask where Koss is. We don't lose him as a hero temporarily, do we?
Mm-hmm.
We do?
Yeah. When you spawn into Yolan Haven, Koss is no longer in your party.
I spent so much money gearing him. He got a vigor rune. That's how important Koss is.
It's all right. Yeah.
Okay. He's coming back. We're gonna do a few quests. We're gonna get him back. Yeah. I forgot that they literally take him away.
And then when you go in, well, before you can you go and talk to, once you spawn into Yolan Haven, you're supposed to go talk to Sunspear. What's his name? Modiki. Moriki?
I spawned into Yolan Haven and closed the game.
Oh yeah. See, no, I was on a quest to get an elite skill, because my account had 1, and which was not good. And so I was like, well, I'll go and talk to the Sunspear over here. And the Sunspear tells us it's the Modiki. Sunspear Modiki is the one who gives us the next primary quest. But I did not do the primary quest. I accepted it because Modiki just gave it to me. And they tell us that Koss has disappeared, and we've got to go. I think I'm not sure if he was captured or if he just disappeared, and we've got to go find him.
We gotta go. He's just MIA basically.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the goal for next episode, is get the gang back together. The Sunspears are in shambles. The end mission cutscene does something that I don't think I've seen before in the Guild Wars games up to this point. It gives us a text caption overlay.
Yeah, it does.
It's not like a Star Wars crawl. It's just like some text that says the Sunspears really effed up this time.
Yeah. They're in shambles, and
when we zoom out on the map, we can see that we are now on the Elonian mainland. Outpost called Yolan Haven. We are in Korna.
We are.
Enemy territory.
That's right.
Next time on Tyria, then. We will. Next time on Tyria, then I will hopefully have an elite skill on my bar as well.
Yes.
Because you can't capture. You can't get a signet of capture on Istan. You can't do it.
No, you can't. You have to get it. The first place where you can get it is in Yolanhaven from the skill trainer guy.
Because there's a dervish boss in the Consulate Docks mission, and I wanted the skill because it's Pious Renewal, which is like a pretty good skill. And I was unable to get that because no capture signet for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm still eliteless.
Yeah.
Yep. I think that's everything. I think that's everything we played.
Yeah.
What level? So you're level 19. What level are your heroes?
They're like 18, 17, 16.
You know what kept really irking me? That we kept having to go back to Castle and Puba, because I believe your heroes get quest XP if they're in your party, right?
Right.
And it's only a 4-player outpost. So I had to keep, I'm pretty sure I had to keep jipping half my party out of XP, which really annoyed me. I don't know what the workaround for that is, but it annoyed me.
No. Yeah, it's annoying. But they'll level up. They'll get there. How about your heroes? How are they doing?
Yeah, they're all in the 17 to 19 range. I think a few of them are 20. I think like the main cast, like Koss, Milani, and Dunkoro are 20. Okay. Everyone else is playing catch up.
You went ham last episode doing all of the side quests.
I got a lot of XP last episode.
Yeah, you got a lot of XP. So I was trying to do a little bit of catch up for this episode, and I didn't quite catch up, but it's all right. We'll get there.
We'll probably all be level 20 heroes and everything next episode, and then it's smooth sailing from there on out. Because for Eye of the North, I'm probably going to play this character because this character has heroes and my other ones don't. So
this is true.
This is probably what you're seeing is what you're going to get for the rest of Guild Wars 1.
Right.
But yeah, that was everything for episode 32. We're going to be coming back in 33 with some more Nightfall plot. Probably a few side quests in and around Korna and some exploration and probably skill capturing. So stay tuned for that. Miko, where can people find you on? Oh, did you have something to add for next episode?
I do, because today as we're recording, ArenaNet went out and tweeted on their Guild Wars Twitter account or X account.
Yeah, we've got a big deal coming up.
Big deal. Why? Because Guild Wars turns 20 this month.
20 years. That's the big 20. Like for a game.
20.
For an online game, that's a big deal.
Yeah. So they're gonna be dropping in some celebration stuff, is what they've tweeted out. And they're gonna start apparently on April 15th with some things. They're adding, what do they say? They're permanently adding previously limited weapons to world drop tables. New permanent quests that reward untradeable copies of certain limited release miniatures when you revisit classic content. And it says, and you'll want to keep your eyes open for some other new loot appearing as you hunt for weapons.
That was a hint of new farmable skins.
Yeah. So that's starting on the 15th. The anniversary is on the 28th. And this anniversary celebration is going to run from April 15th through May 6th.
And the episode is going to be on the 21st, so it'll be right amidst all of that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't... maybe we'll get lucky and get it like a cool drop or something.
Maybe, yeah. We might plan some anniversary stuff. I don't know yet.
Yeah, we'll see what we can bring to you guys. So keep an eye out for that. And if you want updates on that, you're going to need to follow us on the internet. Miko, where can people do that for you?
You can follow me at Inky Sticks.
Yes, you can.
On either Twitter or Blue Sky.
Blue Sky. Everybody go do that. What you can do also is follow Tyria now on everything. Twitter, Blue Sky, Twitch, YouTube, Spotify. Apple Podcasts. Follow all of
Yep.
those. Guys, tell your friends about the show. Do you have friends
Yeah.
that play Guild Wars? Do you have friends that like Guild Wars content? They're watching Mighty Teapot. They're watching Wooden Potatoes. They're watching... I don't really know who else. But maybe they want to watch Tyria then.
Maybe.
So put the
Yeah.
word out there. Bring some new friends, and then have a party in the comments so that the algorithm
There you
likes
go.
us.
Mhm.
Besides that, guys, that is going to be everything for us this week. We'll see you on the 21st with episode 33. And until then, we will see everybody later. Goodbye, guys.
Bye.